I may have put it
Yes.
private.
And Leslie just put up, when's the next live? It's just come
So-
down on my screen.
So
now.
that is what happened.
It is what happened.
I accidentally made it private, and we started reading, and
The
then
good
we
thing
were like,
is, yeah, I know when not to push the button because it goes up too far and you lose where you're reading, you think.
yeah.
Oh, Leslie said she's not getting notification.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button because I was trying to put it on live chat.
Right.
So where did Leslie send that? Do we need to answer Leslie?
Let's have a look.
Must be on Instagram. So while he's doing that, we are Mike and Angelique from the MAPShow Live, Mike and Angelique's Poetry and Prose Show. And tonight we are reading some poetry from Percy Bysshe. He says it differently. How do you say it again?
See, Leslie's come in now, I think.
Shelley. Yes, somebody has. And we're going to be reading a selection of his poems. And after we read those, if you didn't watch our earlier show and would like to see some of our shows, go and listen to him. Shelley says, I was almost crying thinking I was not going to hear Shelley. Oh, Leslie. Yeah, I accidentally kept the video marked to private. So we started reading and we were just like, pretty sure Leslie was going to come listen to this. Why is there 0-0? And then we realized
it was a practice. It was a practice.
It was a practice, yes. So, shall we?
So we'll be reading a section of Shelley poetry, and we're starting off with Mont Blanc, lines written in the Vale of Chamonix. The everlasting universe of things flows through the mind and rolls its rapid waves, now dark, now glittering, now reflecting gloom, now lending splendour, where from secret springs the source of human thought its tribute brings, of waters, with a sound but half its own, such as a feeble brook will oft assume in the wild woods among the mountains lone, where waterfalls around it leap forever, where woods and winds contend, and a vast river over its rocks ceaselessly bursts and raves.
This thou ravine of Arve, dark, deep ravine, thou many-coloured, many-voiced vale, over whose pines and crags and caverns sail fast cloud shadows and sunbeams, awful scene, where power and likeness of the Arve comes down from the ice gulfs that gird his secret throne, bursting through the dark mountains like the flame of lightning through the tempest, thou dost lie. Thy giant brood of pines around thee clinging, children of elder time, in whose devotion the changeless winds still come and ever come to drink their odors and their mighty swinging, to hear an old and solemn harmony. Thy earthly rainbows stretched across the sweep of the ethereal waterfall, whose veil robes some unsculptured image. The strange sleep, which when the voices of the desert fell, wraps all in its own deep eternity. The caverns echoing to the Arve's commotion, alone, a loud, lone sound no other sound can tame. Thou art pervaded with the ceaseless motion. Thou art the path of the unresting sound, dizzy ravine. And when I gaze on thee, I seem as in a trance sublime and strange, to muse on my own separate fantasy, my own human mind, which passively now readers and receives fast influencing, holding an unremitting interchange with the clear universe of things around. One legion of wild thoughts whose wandering wings now float above thy darkness and now rest with that are thou. Oh, I can't get that line ever. Now Now float above thy darkness, and now rest where that or thou art no unbidden guest. In the still cave of the witch Posy, seeking amongst the shadows that pass by, ghosts of all things that are some shade of thee, some phantom, some faint image, till the breast from which they fled recalls, thou art thou. Mike.
Some say that gleams of remoter world visit the soul in sleep, that death is slumber, and that it shapes the busy thoughts outnumber of those who wake and live. I look on high. Has some unknown omnipotence unfurled the veil of life and death? Or do I lie in dream? And does the mightier world of sleep spread far around inaccessibly? It circles, for the very spirit fails, driven like a homeless cloud from steep to steep, that vanishes among the viewless gales. Far, far above, piercing the infinite sky, Mont Blanc appears, still, snowy and serene. Its subject mountains are unearthly forms pile around it, ice and rock, broad veils between of frozen floods, unfathomable deeps, blue as the overhanging heavens that spread and winged among the accumulated steeps, a desert peopled by the storms alone, save when the eagle brings home some hunter's bone, and the wolf tracks her there. How hideously its shapes are heaped around, rude, bare, and high, ghastly and scarred and riven. Is this the scene where the old earthquake daemon taught her young ruin? Were these our toys, or did a sea of fire envelop once this silent snow? None can reply. All seems eternal now. The wilderness has a mysterious tongue, which teaches awful doubt, or faith so mild, so solemn, so serene, that man may be. But for such faith, with nature reconciled, thou hast a voice, great mountain, to repeal large codes of fraud and woe, not understood by all, but which the wise and great and good interpret or make felt or deeply feel.
The fields, the lakes, the forests, and the streams, ocean, and all the living things that dwell within the daedal earth, lightning and rain, earthquake and fiery flood and hurricane, the torpor of the year when feeble dreams visit the hidden buds, or dreamless sleep holds every future leaf and flower, the bound with which from that detested trance they leap, the works and ways of man, their death and birth, and that of him, and all of that is may be. All things that move and breathe with toil and sound are born and die, revolve, subside, and swell. Power dwells apart in its tranquility, remote, serene, and inaccessible. And this, the naked continents of earth on which I gaze, even these primeval mountains, teach the adverting mind. The glacial creep like snakes that watch their prey form their far fountains, slow rolling on. There, many a precipice, frost and the sun in scorn of mortal power have plied dome, pyramid, and pinnacle, a city of death, distinct with many a tower, and wall impregnable of beaming ice. Yet not a city, but a flood of ruin. Is there that from which boundaries of the sky rolls its perpetual stream? Vast pines are strewing its destined path, or in this mangled soil, breathless and shattered, stand the rocks drawn down from yon remotest waste, have overthrown the limits of the dead and living world, never to be reclaimed. The dwelling place of insects, beasts, and birds becomes its spoil, their food and their retreat forever gone. So much of life and joy is lost. The race of man flies far in dread. His work and dwelling vanish like smoke before the tempest stream. And their place is not known. Below vast caves, and their place is not known. Below vast caves shine in the rushing torrents restless gleam, which from those secret chasms in tumult welling meet in the vale, and one majestic river, the breath and blood of distant lands, forever rolls its loud waters to the ocean. Waves breathe in swift vapors to the circling air.
Mont Blanc yet gleams on high, the power is there, the still and solemn power of many sights and many sounds, and much of life and death. In the calm darkness of the moonless nights, in the lone glare of day, the snows descend. Upon that mountain none beholds them there, nor when the flakes burn in the sinking sun, or the starbeams dart through them, winds contend silently there, and heap the snow with breath rapid and strong, but silently. Its home, the voiceless lightning in those solitudes, keeps innocently and like vapour broods over the snow, the secret strength of things which govern thought, and to the infinite dome of heaven is a law, inhabits thee, and what were there, and earth and stars and sea, as if to human minds' imaginings, silence and solitude were vacancy.
And Leslie says, how amazing that such nouns languish and awaken in our beautiful nature. Such pulchritude is by me so esteemed and revered. Well,
Uh,
Leslie, you just talking poetry yourself.
yes, Leslie does.
And Tommy says hello. It was beautiful. It's
Right.
the poetic form, how it continues from one line to the next, can be a challenge to read.
It can be a challenge to leave because it will stop and then it will start again. But
Yeah,
the beauty of the whole weave of it, of talking about the majesty of mountains, but also
yeah.
discussing so many other things involved there as well.
Yeah, it really is gorgeous, and the rhyming scheme
Yeah,
throughout it, both mid rhyme and end rhyme. I mean, he really plays with sound and
he does.
rhythm and melody. It's really gorgeous.
They are,
Leslie says there's so much to love.
there
Yeah,
is, and they're just, they're written to be spoken
they are.
because you get the beauty of enjoying the wordplay.
It's very musical. His work has
Yeah,
an extreme musical
yeah.
quality. So this one, do you want to do every other one? Do you want to just keep doing every other one throughout?
Shall we do it? Yeah, every other one tonight, shall we? Yep, again,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I think it works really perfectly.
Sounds good. So
Yeah.
this is Tonight by Percy Shelley. Sweetly walk o'er the western wave, spirit of the night, out of the misty eastern cave, where all along the lone daylight thou wowest dreams of joy and fear, which makes thee terrible and dear. Swift be thy flight.
Wrap thy form in a mantle grey, star enwrought, blind with thine hair the eyes of day. Kiss her until she is wearied out, then wander o'er city and sea and land, touching all with thine opiate wand. Come, long sought.
When I arose and saw the dawn, I sighed for thee. When light rode high and the dew was gone, and noon lay heavy on flower and tree, and the weary day turned to his rest, lingering like an unloved guest, I sighed for thee.
Thy brother Death came and cried, wouldest thou me? Thy sweet child Sleep, the flimsy-eyed, murmured like noontide bee. Shall I nestle near thy side? Wouldst thou me? And I replied, no, not thee.
Death will come when thou art dead, soon, too soon. Sleep will come when thou art fled, of neither would I ask the boon. I ask of thee, beloved night, swift be thine approaching flight. Come soon, soon. It's beautiful.
Is
And
that
Leslie
beautiful?
says, Leslie says you can't stop at a line. He plays with punctuation and leads you to travel the poem. He really does, yes.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, this was beautiful, and I like the way he was like he's asking night to come. I think because
Yeah.
he's tired and wants to sleep. But I like the bringing in death part there.
It is, yes. Yeah. Death will come when thou art dead.
Yeah.
But beautiful. I mean, that again, this more poetry you could sit and discuss, but
In
tonight we're
both
reading.
poems, he brings up opium.
He does. He
So
does.
was he an opium user?
But I think quite probably did. They
Probably.
probably dabbled. I would have thought.
Yeah, Poppy
Yeah.
dabbled.
Yeah.
That's
Probably
a
dabbled.
Poppy dabbled. I'm gonna have to write that down.
Poppy dabbled.
And I did not write when we started the time on that either. I'm just not going to include the different poems on the list. I think I'm just going to write poems for Percy
Poem.
Shelley. I
Yeah, I think
forgot to
so.
do it. Leslie says this is a celebration of dark emotions. Yes.
That definitely is of dark emotions. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's another poem where if you delve into his life, you can see where it comes from and why it's been penned. So we move on to mutability. We are the clouds that veil the midnight moon. How restlessly they speed and gleam and quiver, streaking the darkness radiantly, yet soon night closes round and they are lost forever.
Or like forgotten lyres whose dissonant strings give various response to each varying blast, to whose frail frame no second motion brings one mood or modulation like the last.
We rest. A dream has power to poison sleep. We rise. One wandering thought pollutes the day. We feel, conceive or reason, laugh or weep, embrace fond woe or cast our cares away.
It is the same, for be it joy or sorrow, the path of its departure still is free. Man's yesterday may ne'er be like his morrow, naught may endure but mutability.
Now, isn't that a performance poem?
Yeah, that is. I think his poems and many poems of that time
Yeah,
are really meant to be acted and
they
performed,
are.
and yet because it's not something I have read aloud many times, and because the language is structured so differently than how we speak, it can be challenging
It
to
can
do
be
that.
because your mind is talking about the way we speak or use words now, and so often they're reversed.
Yeah, they are.
They are meant to
Yes,
be
they
acted,
are.
absolutely.
Yes,
Um,
Leslie.
but they need to be read aloud, yeah, to understand the pauses and punctuation. Absolutely.
Leslie says, you are in his world. Yes.
What a lovely place to be. So we come on to Ode to the West Wind. O wild west wind, thou breath of autumn's being, thou from whose unseen presence the leaves dead are driven, like ghosts from an enchanter fleeing, yellow and black and pale and hectic red, pestilence-stricken multitudes. O thou whose chariotess to their dark wintry bed.
Can't hear you. You're muted.
I think I'll start that again. Of course, I was forgetting these are 1, 2, 3, 4. Ode, Ode to the West Wind. O thou wild west wind, thou breath of autumn's being, thou from whose unseen presence the leaves dead are driven, like ghosts from enchanter fleeing, yellow and black and pale and hectic red, pestilence-stricken multitudes, O thou whose chariotess to their dark wintry bed, the winged seeds where they lie cold and low, each like a corpse within its grave, until thine azure sister of the spring shall blow her clarion o'er the dreaming earth, and fill driving sweet buds like flocks to feed the air with living hues and old as plain and hill. While spirits, which art moving everywhere, destroyer and preserver, O hear, O hear.
Thou on whose stream, mid the steep sky's commotion, loose clouds like earth's decaying leaves are shed, shook from the tangled boughs of heaven and ocean. Angels of rain and lightning, they are spread on the blue surface of thine airy surge, like the bright hair uplifted from the head of some fierce Maenad, even from the dim verge of the horizon to the zenith's height, the lock of the approaching storm thou dirge of thy dying year, to which this closing night will be the dome of vast sepulture, vaulted with all thy congregated might, of vapors from whose sordid atmosphere black rain and fire and hail will burst. Oh, hear!
Thou who didst waken from his summer's dreams, the blue Mediterranean where he lay, lulled by the coil of his crystalline streams, beside a pumice isle of Bayer's Bay, and saw in sleep all palaces and towers quivering within the waves' intenser day, all overgrown with azure moss and flowers, so sweet, the sense faint picturing them, thou, for whose path the Atlantic's level powers cleave themselves into chasms, while far below the sea blooms and the oozy woods which wear the sapless foliage of the ocean know thy voice, and suddenly grow grey with fear, and tremble and despoil themselves, O hear.
If I were a dead leaf, thou mightiest bear, if I were a swift cloud to fly with thee, a wave to pant beneath thy power and share, the impulse of thy strength only less free than thou, O uncontrollable, if even I were in as my boyhood and could be, the comrade of thy wanderings over heaven, as then when to outstrip thy skiey speed scarce seemed a vision, I would ne'er have striven. As thus with thee in prayer in my sore need, oh, lift me as a wave, a leaf, a cloud. I fall upon the thorns of life. I bleed. A heavy weight of hours has chained and bowed, one, two like thee, tameless and swift and proud.
Make me thy lyre, even as the forest is. What if my leaves are falling like its own? The tumult of thy mighty harmonies will take from both a deep autumnal tone. Sweet, though in sadness be thou, spirit fierce, my spirit, be thou me, impetuous one. Drive my dead thoughts over the universe like withered leaves to quicken a new birth. and by the incantation of this verse, scatter, as from an unextinguished hearth, ashes and sparks, my words amongst mankind, be though my lips to awakened earth, the trumpet of a prophecy, O wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind?
That's beautiful and passionate.
And passionate, yes.
Very passionate. I like all the questioning of it, and not just questioning, but really passionately
Really passionate,
questioning.
that's right, really sort of, yeah.
And Leslie says the sadness of life is so richly captured, but finds a way to ask the reader to hope. Yeah, it's often woven through
It
his,
does,
it seems.
yeah. And at that end, it just sort of, it lifts you at the end, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Yeah. And next, I was just checking the rhythm.
Yeah.
And next we have England in 1819. An old, mad, blind, despised, and dying king. Princes, the dregs of their dull race who flow through public scorn, mud from a muddy spring. Rulers who neither see nor feel nor know, but leech like to their fainting country cling, till they drop, blind in blood without a blow, a people starved and stabbed in the untilled field, an army which liberticide and prey makes us two-edged sword to all who wield. Golden and sanguine laws which tempt and slay, religious, Christless, godless, a book sealed, a senate, time's worst statue unrepealed, are graves from which a glorious phantom may burst to illumine our tempestuous day.
A powerful write about problems of the day, and not unlike your poem, so very relevant.
He I like Shelley because he speaks of relationships and sadness and nature and politics and religion and the occult. He just speaks,
He
and he's
speaks,
not afraid to, and his styles, even though there is a definite flavor to his writing,
yes.
he jumps. He's not afraid to go everywhere,
No,
and I really like that in a poet. I like writers who will go
yeah.
everywhere.
And he's bold. What do you say? He's
He's
bold in what he
bold.
says. He's bold.
Yes.
Yeah,
Leslie says you've chosen a gem of a writer. He loves to play with madness at the core of
he does.
humanity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so move on to a skylark.
Skylark.
Are we going to read one stanza, then
It's up
another
to you.
stanza? Yeah, do that.
Okay.
Hail to thee, blithe spirit, bird thou never wert, that from heaven or near it pourest thy full heart in profuse strains of unpremeditated art.
Higher still and higher from the earth thou springest like a cloud of fire. The blue deep thou swingest, and singing still dost soar, and soaring ever singest.
In the golden lightning of a sunken sun, o'er which clouds are brightening, thou dost float and run, like an unbodied joy whose race is just begun.
The pale purple even melts around thy flight, like a star of heaven in the broad daylight. Thou art unseen, but yet I hear thy shrill delight.
Keen as are the arrows of that silver sphere, whose intense lamp narrows in the white dawn clear, until we hardly see, we feel that it is there.
All the earth and air with thy voice is loud, as when the night is bare from one lonely cloud. The moon rains out her beams, and heaven is overflowed.
What thou art we know not, what is most like thee? From rainbow clouds there flow not drops so bright to see, as from thy presence showers a rain of melody.
Like a poet hidden in the light of thought, singing hymns unbidden till the world is wrought. To sympathy with hopes and fears it heeded not.
Like a high-born maiden in a palace tower, soothing her love-laden soul in secret hour, with music sweet as love, which overflows her bower.
Like a glowworm golden in a dale of dew, scattering unbeholden in aerial hue amongst the flowers and grass which screen it from the view.
Like a rose embowered in its own green leaves, by warm winds deflowered to the scented gives, makes faint with too much sweet these heavy winged thieves.
Sound of vernal showers on the twinkling grass, rain awakened flowers, all that ever was, joyous and clear and fresh, thy music doth surpass.
Teach us, spirit or bird, what sweet thoughts are thine I have never heard, praise of love or wine that panted forth a flood of rapture so divine.
Chorus, hymnal, or triumphant chant, matched with thine would be all but an empty vaunt, a thing wherein we feel there is some hidden want.
What objects are the fountains of the happy strain? What fields or waves or mountains? What shape of sky or plain? What love of thine own kind? What ignorance of pain?
With thy clear, clean joyance, languor cannot be, shadow of annoyance never came near thee. Thou lovest, but ne'er knew love's sad satiety.
Waking or asleep, thou of death must deem things more true and deep than we mortals dream. Or how could thy notes flow in such a crystal stream?
We look before and after and pine for what is not. Our sincerest laughter with some pain and fraught. Our sweetest songs are those that tell of saddest thought.
Yet if we scorn hate and pride and fear, if we are things born, not shed a tear, I know not how thy joy we ever should come near.
Better than all measures of delightful sound, better than all treasures that in books are found, thy sky to poet were, thou scorner of the ground.
Teach me half the gladness that thy brain must know, such harmonious madness from my lips would flow. The world should listen then, as I am listening now.
That was a poem.
That was a poem. It's just a pleasure to read. They really are.
Yeah, it is. And
Yeah,
I think I'm so caught up in the reading that I'm kind of spacing out on the meaning a
yeah,
little
that's right.
bit.
It's just there.
Leslie says he sweetly plays with alliteration in such an honor of the repetition of refreshing
Oh yeah,
sounds. He
yeah.
does. Yes.
You just, it's there. You can feel it, can't you?
Yeah, it's very rhythmic.
You can feel it.
And this next one is stanzas written in dejection near Naples. The sun is warm, the sky is clear, the waves are dancing fast and bright. Blue eyes and snowy mountains wear the purple noon's transparent light. The breath of the moist earth is light around its unexpanding buds. Like many a voice of one delight, the winds, the birds, the ocean floods. The city's voice itself is soft like solitude's. Mike, Mike,
I see the deep's untrampled floor with green and purple seaweed strewn. I see the waves upon the shore like light dissolved in star showers thrown. I sit upon the sands alone. The lightning of the noontide ocean is flashing round me, and a tone arises from its measured motion. How sweet did any heart now share in my emotion?
Alas, I have nor hope nor health, nor peace within, nor calm round, nor the content surpassing wealth, sage in meditation found, and walked with inward glory crowned, nor fame, nor power, nor love, nor leisure. Smiling they live and call it pleasure. To me that cup has been dealt in much to me that cup has been dealt in another measure.
Yet now despair itself is mild, even as the winds and waters are. I could lie down like a tired child and weep away the life of care, which I have borne and yet must bear, till death like sleep might steal on me, and I might feel in the warm air my cheek grow cold and hear the sea breathe o'er my dying brain its last monotony.
Some might lament that some might lament that I were cold, as I when the sweetest day is gone, which my lost heart too soon grow old. Insults with the untimely moan, they might lament, for I am one whom men love not and yet forget. Unlike this day which has been unlike this day which has been hold on. Unlike this day, which when the sun shall on its stainless glory set, will linger, though enjoyed, like enjoy memory yet.
You could feel the dejection
You can.
run through each one, even though it's rhythmic and musically beautifully done. It is there, that feeling of dejection.
Leslie says, master of octosyllabic lines that rhythmically sing.
No, no, yeah, far cleverer than I, that's for sure.
Me too.
And our last poem tonight is music. Shall we do a stanza each?
Up to you.
Yeah. So music. Music, when soft voices die, vibrates in the memory. Odours, when sweet violets sicken, live within the sense they quicken.
Rose leaves when the rose is dead are heaped for the beloved's bed. And so thy thoughts, when thou art gone, love itself shall slumber on.
There is such rhythmic beauty in that two little stanzas
Yeah.
discussing music, love, and flowers in so few words. And
To be, yeah, to be someone so well known and so recognized, he still wasn't afraid to just
no,
go there.
no, not at all.
And I
Absolutely
appreciate that.
wonderful.
This was nice.
That really enjoyed this. I think,
Yes, me too.
I think, yeah, and I think a blending of some classical poets into our lives as well, and having indulgence of reading our own poetry as well. I think it's
Yes,
great. Absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah,
And Leslie says, succinct and gorgeous.
it is. It just so. Yeah, it's just well, you can't really say more, can you? Because tying up music, it's not only music, but there is musicality in the poem, as
Yes.
in all the poetry's read. So
No, he's
wonderful.
really amazing. It's
Yes, but
incredible.
yeah,
This was an incredible night.
it's been a
Uh,
wonderful maps one for our due maps.
yes, very much so. Very much so. We hope y'all come back for more maps in the future.
Certainly hope you do. And we'd love to see you all here. And yeah, the recordings will be out. And we'll deal with that. So thank you much for joining us. And thanks so much, Angelique. It's been a brilliant evening.
Okay.
It's been a treat. It's been a
Bye.
treat
It
for us
has
as
been a
well.
treat.
Thank you,
It
Leslie.
really has.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it deeply,
Yeah.
and I just enjoyed learning to write something new today. So
Brilliant.
that's been amazing. And Leslie says, thank you so much.
Yeah.
No,
Thank
thank you
you.
for joining us,
Yeah, that's
Leslie.
right.
And we will see y'all later.
We'll be signing out right now. So thank you,
Yes.
everybody. See you later. Take
Bye.
care.
Good night.
Okay. Bye.